If you've seen the video I did about the likes and dislikes of the Sony A7 III, you will know that I mentioned in there that I kind of was a little bit miffed that there was no separate charging unit, and if you wanted to charge the battery for the camera, you had to charge it in the camera. If you haven't seen that video, why not? And I will leave a link for it up here for you as well. But I did also mention that I had ordered some third-party batteries that I have found from a company called LeiFire or something like that. Well, it's arrived. It looks very similar to the Sony FZ100 battery. Well, obviously, otherwise it wouldn't fit. In terms of differences between this and the Sony's got a little bit of writing on the top that lets you know it's got Info Lithium Z, whatever that is, and a nice little holographic display that I believe has the serial number for the battery. Why you would need that, I don't know. Testing the durability of the batteries, they feel pretty similar. The LeiFire has got a little bit of give to it if you squeeze it, but not really a lot. It does actually feel like quite a solid battery. Now, LeiFire sell not only the FZ100 battery, but also a charger for it. The one I have here is a dual charger because the pack that I bought had the charger and two batteries, although one of them is currently in my camera right now. The charging unit is very simple. It has two slots to fit two batteries, a small plug on the back that takes a micro USB cable, and when it's plugged in, you get a nice little display on the top that shows you how much charge is in the batteries. The charger itself does obviously feel very cheap and plasticky, not a lot of weight to it, but then at the end of the day, it's just sitting there with batteries in. When you put the batteries in, there's definitely a kind of noticeable click to make sure they've gone in, and they are pretty sturdy once they're in there. Now, the big important question, how well do the LeiFires perform compared to the Sony? Well, when I ran an overheating stress test using the Sony A7 III, I shot continuous 4K footage for 90 minutes using the genuine Sony battery. And after 90 minutes of recording, the battery had gone from 100% down to 51%. So it basically drained about half the battery running 4K footage. I ran the same stress test yesterday using a fully charged LeiFire, and after 90 minutes of 4K recording, it had about 33% battery left. So it drained about 67%. Now, according to the writing on the back, the Sony has a stated capacity of 2280 milliamps, while the LeiFire has a stated capacity of 2500 milliamps. So one of them is lying slightly. But realistically, 67% drain after 90 minutes would equate to you being able to get about 2 hours 15 of continuous 4K recording off a single battery, which is more than sufficient for most people and is pretty impressive, really. Now, considering that the genuine Sony battery for most people can really do a full day shooting and onto a second day on a single charge, it's pretty safe to assume that the LeiFire would probably get most people a full day's worth of shooting on a single charge. So no, a third-party battery is not as good as a genuine Sony battery. But bear in mind, the genuine Sony is £75 on its own. I bought two LeiFire batteries and the battery charger for £50. So a single LeiFire battery is about a third of the price of a Sony, but is about 3/4 of the performance. So for me, I'm quite happy with these batteries. I will still primarily use the Sony battery and will probably rarely need a second battery for a day's shoot. So having two of these in my kit bag doesn't take up any space, but it's just reassuring to know that I have them if I need them. So that's it, guys. A quick review of the LeiFire NP FZ100 battery for the Sony A7 III, A7R III, A7 III. If you want to check this battery out, and I recommend that you do if you are looking for just a spare battery to have in case of emergencies, I will leave the link to the description just down there. But what do you make of third-party batteries? Do you think they offer better value for money, or do you prefer to stick to genuine manufacturers? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. Thank you so much for stopping by, and hopefully I will see you in the next video.